Hello, hi, it's Liz here, and I've got out my grungy junk journal to have a play. Haven't had a play in this for a long time. I made this one about 6 or 7 months ago. I'll put a link to the original video in the description box if you want to see how this one came together. And I thought I would do some collaging and then some stamping and some colouring. So we'll be using these crazy birds from Tim Holtz, and these leaves will give them a little bit of colour, and I've got a little bundle here that I'm going to use to make a background. So I was thinking I would decorate, there's a plain brown envelope here, and I'm just going to take it. This is the good thing about these kind of books with the rings. You can take the page out like that, and we'll just clip that closed again. So first of all, just put my book over there. First of all, I'm just going to add some, I've gathered some bits from my scrap box, and yeah, let's just have a play and get the old Glowy magazine out and get some bits of something down. So I'm going to go over the edges and then just trim round because yeah, just because. I was going to tell you why, but I really don't have a reason. Just because I want it to be, I suppose, squared off round the edges. Yeah. Yep. So let's just do it on top of the book. Right, so I've used a bit of that. Let's I'll re-punch the holes, I think. Yes, I'll re-punch the holes. So a little bit of map. So I really just want this to be a total mix of anything scrappy. Use up all your bits. I've got bits of graph paper. I've got more. I think we'll put that this way round. And I don't mind that there's a little bit of brown showing. It's fun just to have a carefree play, just rip and glue, rip and stick. And I think maybe we'll have some of that up there. I'm just using a glue stick for this. So it's a right horrible day here today. It was forecast for sleet, rain and a mixture of sleet, but the sleet hasn't come. It's just been horrible rain. I want to use this Yeah, so not a nice day at all. A day for the fire, though we don't have a fire. But that's what we say, it's a day for the fire. Yeah, that looks looking okay once I trim round that. Now, what else could we do? Maybe add a little bit of washi down this edge. Maybe a little bit of this. Yeah, I think we'll put that there and then we'll put the washi on. Right, I think I'm finished with my bits. I'll just gather them up. They can go back in the scrap box, which just seems a never-ending that's kind of gluey. Let me just take that. Sorry about that noise. That was a bit of a horrible noise. Right, so we're going to add a little bit of washi. Let's go for this one because it's handy there in my dish. And this will just take away that bit of square edge a little bit. Right, I think I'm happy with that. Let me get my scissors and let me just trim around. Right. Just put these little bits in the bin. I draw the line at keeping tiny, tiny wee bits. Right, that seems a bit not quite. That's better. And we'll need to redo these holes. That's okay, we'll do that at the end, I think. Okay, next step, I'm going to add my crazy bird. And I was thinking he was hiding a wee bit, or she was hiding. I'm going to call her a she, because we'll stamp another one and colour it together and we'll make him a he. So she's hiding down there like that. And then we'll bring in this crazy bird and he'll go up here. So I've got, let me show you what I've got. The birds are from this Bird Crazy by Stampers Anonymous. Yep. We'll just put that there, back there. Bird Crazy. And the leaves are from this Ranger Dilutions and it's called Further Around the Edge. And you get edge stamps. These have been really well used. Absolutely. And that's the leaf. I've already stamped the leaf out. So we'll stamp the bird out. I'm going to use, let me just clear a little space. I'm going to use my VersaFine Onyx Black. And I'm going to use some of this which is mixed media paper, but it does for watercolour as well. So I've got a wee spare piece here that the bird fits on, I'm sure. Yep. Waste not, want not, as my old granny would say. So VersaFine, and I use VersaFine because it picks up all the detail that other inks don't tend to, and also it's water resistant. So when you're using any pens or paints or pencils that you're going to add water to, the black ink won't run. There we are. That's Millie back in from her walk. I don't know if you can hear that. It's like a troop of horses. Right, so to colour these, I'm going to use these water-based paints, a little bit of water, a paintbrush, and let me just get a little napkin. Okay, so let's do the leaves first. These are just cheap, and it's called Bower. There's nothing else written on them. They were cheap pens from Amazon. So B-O-W-E-R, and simply go round the edge of each leaf, and I go about halfway down, and then use the purple and do the other side. You don't need to go right to the edge. Doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to smoosh it with water, which is the next step. So a little bit of water, and we just pull in the colour. You'll find it'll just blend in the middle a little bit. Sometimes I go to the green first and sometimes I go to the purple first, but it will just blend. And I know that you don't really get purple and green leaves. Well, you sort of do. I think there is one plant that's kind of purple and green, but you know, this is junk journal world. Any colour goes as far as I'm concerned. But how easy is that, and really, really effective. And I'm just keeping to the same colour palette, the green, the purple, and I'm going to colour the bird green and purple too. And I think I maybe added a little bit of blue to the bird now that I'm looking. Yeah, there's a little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow. We'll see. He might not get any blue. And again, we're just bringing that in, just haphazardly. Absolutely no skill needed. And then I just want to, because I'm going to fussy cut, but when I fussy cut, you'll see that I don't go right in some of the places because, well, it doesn't need to be right in to get the look that I'm after. So I just want to put some green so that I can just get that white off the background, so that when I'm fussy cutting, you can see that it still leaves a little bit of green background there. So that just, the little bit of water on the brush just pulls out onto the white. Just do it where you think you won't be cutting, and it does away with the lines as well. I'm not quite sure which ones I'm going to cut and which ones I'm not, so I'm just making sure that I get lots of green there, and you get a proper watercolour look. Okay, so let me just get the blue just in case. Right, so I know for sure I want his beak to be yellow, because although obviously he's a different breed, I want it to still have some sort of matching cohesive look a little bit. So let's see, what will we do? We'll do the purple down here, I think, and again just to the edge, and we'll pull it through. Then we'll do some green up here, and we'll leave the blue just now. So pull the purple up. I didn't add watercolour to the yellow beak because I want it to be proper yellow. So we're leaving the dark bits around the edges where the cross hatches are. They're a little bit darker. I think that's another wing there, so we'll do that yellow. And then we'll just do the blue in this middle section there. And while I've got a little tiny bit of blue, I'm just going to, I know that would normally be the whites of the eyes, but I just wanted to add a little bit, and it's just sitting in a puddle, so I'm just going to dab that. Just pick up a little bit again, just to take away from the white a little bit. I'm going to add some more blue because I've watered it down too much. Just use a drier brush and just spread it round because there's already plenty of water there. There. Perfect. Now what about his little tuft of hair? Let's make that yellow as well. We might cut that out and we might not. We'll see we'll see if the scissors are kind to me. Sometimes I don't cut out tiny little bits because, well, like I say, life's too short. It's like, whatchamacallit, the butterflies little bits. I'm going to cut this out, and I'll cut the leaves out off camera because I'm sure you don't need to watch me, but I know sometimes you like to see how fussy cutting works, and I know everybody's got a different sort of way of doing it. I tend to leave the tiniest little edge on most things, and then when it comes to this, I just don't do it. I leave the tricky bits to the end because those little bits, if I had to work my way around them just now, they might get accidentally bent, or that will make them less, you know, they would be more, what's the word I'm looking for? They would be more likely to be broken off if I cut them off just now. So that's what I tend to do. And then I leave all the little bits to the end, like this. It's quite tricky. And we just go in and see if we can get as near. See, I'm trying to reach out and do it under the camera. Here we are. And this one. Now there's a white bit there between his legs. And don't know why that's making me giggle. So I'm going to cut his feet in two because we'll be sticking him down. And so rather than get a blade out or a cutter or anything, or trying to do that middle bit, just cut through his legs, because we'll be sticking him down and you won't know that we cut through his feet. You won't know. Nobody will know. Right, so that's him. So she's hiding in the bushes. And he's like, what are you up to? What are you up to down there? And I'm going to cut some more leaves for maybe for him to hide in a wee bit. So I'm going to cut these and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, all done. And I had forgotten to go back and do his little bit of hair, so that's done. I managed to get it as good as I can get it, and I'm happy to keep it rather than give him a haircut. And for this I will do the same as I did before and just cut it somewhere to make two pieces. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe, do I want this one coming down, or is he in a taller bit? In my head I had him in the two pieces as well, but that means he would be kind of floating there, and that doesn't look right either. I think he's going to have to be on a long piece. In fact, we'll just bring it all nearer rather than in two halves. So if we did that and that, and then she's kind of here, he's up there. Yeah, I think so. I'm wondering if I want to do a little bit of stitching around the edges. Yeah, because I think the edge needs something. The edge definitely needs something. And do I want some stamping on the background as well, now that I see it? Yeah, I'm going to dig out a background stamp and I'm going to stitch round the edge. Okay, a stitch round the edge makes a difference, I think. Gives it a little bit of oomph. And I've got my set faded type Stampers Anonymous, and there's this little set of numbers. So I'm just going to now think where these chaps are going, and I'll maybe just do some numbers up here and maybe down there, and maybe in the corner there as well. Maybe, yeah. I think what I'm going to do with this little ring book is more of this stamping and colouring, because it's a good book that you know, you can just do these crazy quirky things in. It's not got a theme, so it means I can get to use maybe we'll do some numbers up and down the way. Going a little crazy now, up and down. Now that map is shiny. I'm going to have to watch that because that's not going to dry on that very quick, because the map is not glossy paper, but it's a little bit shiny, and you can see that the ink has reacted differently on there. So we'll just need to watch we don't smudge that. I should really give it a blast with my heat gun, but it's not about at the moment. Now, I do kind of want them in behind, but I still want to see quite a lot. And I want him to be standing in something because I do still want it to kind of make sense. Yeah. Oh, I touched that black ink there. I wonder if I should use a napkin and just blot it a little bit. Yeah. Take the most of it off. That's better. Okay, let's get sticking. So let's get the little stamps out the way. Right, I'm going to stick this down first. And I'm not going to stick it to the edges because I want to tuck him in. So I'm just kind of going up the middle and then I'll go back. I'll just go like that so that I can get him standing on a leaf. Maybe about there. I don't mind if some of the edges curl. It adds a little bit of 3D, doesn't it? I don't want to curl that much though. I might need to stick it on under a heavy book for a few minutes. That watercolour mixed media paper is quite thick, quite heavy for the glue stick. Right, now let's see. Would that be better around that way so that I can use those 3 little leaves? Yeah. Let's get this one down. So this one can be stuck straight down. And then, oops, trying to escape. About there. Will that go in behind? No. Right, I'm just going to put her straight on. And she doesn't need to sit in the leaf because she's sitting on the ground. She's standing on the ground, really, at bottom of the page, isn't she? So she doesn't need to be on a leaf. Well, in my head that's the ground. And then I'm just going to have that coming off a little bit, because it doesn't matter if it peeks out for this journal. Wonder if I could cut that down a wee bit more. Do you know, that's what I'm going to do. See, just at that bit there. That's better. Does everybody else faff about like this as much as this? And then we can maybe use that one up there. Oh, genius. Go on. Yeah, tell me. Great idea. So we want this just to be just want to see her tail peeking through the flowers, the leaves a little bit. And then this piece, that's the good thing about these borders. You can cut them up into sections that suit you better. Let's just do that there. Perfect. That bit's not going to stick down there. Right, I think we're done. For sure. So, I need to make the holes again. Here we are. Let's get the book back. And it doesn't matter where it goes in the book. Where was it? Doesn't matter. I'm just going to put it in here. Well, that was a little bit of fun and nonsense. Yay! Oh, I do like it. It makes me smile. Oh, I forgot the words. I picked out some words. Now, where? Oh yes. Don't be afraid of being different. Now it says, don't be afraid of being different, be afraid of being the same as everyone else. But I thought that was too long. I just quite like the don't be afraid of being different, because these birds are different, because they are purple and green and all sorts of nonsense. And do I want to split the words? I do quite like splitting the words. And I'm going to do it between the afraid and the different. Now there'll be a black version of this. I wonder if I want the black version. I've stuck them in my fingers and I can't use my fingers. There. Let me see. Because the white is quite fine. No, I'm sticking the white print on the black doesn't stand out like those other ones. I'm just going to stick with the white. And we're going to just bring that leaf in and overlap it. And that's what the birds are being told. Don't be afraid. You're different, but it doesn't matter. There. What do we think? Now, I know I should stop, but I'm thinking a little tiny bit of purple, a little tiny bit of watery purple. And I don't know how it's going to react because it's not watercolour paper, but if I just do a tiny little bit under, and let's just see, not much water, if we can, not really, a little tiny bit. And maybe just, I'll work on that leaf because that's watercolour. And it's working a little bit. Yeah, that just sinks it into the page, if you know what I mean. Yeah? Okay, so, yes, I'm liking. And I think that's what I'm going to do in this book. I'm going to just play around with some stamps, some different ways to colour the stamps, bit of collage background. Some of the pages are already got some collage. There's some magazine pages. There's different things that I can play around with, different textures, and we'll just do some stamping and some colouring every little while in the book. What do you think? If you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.